Hello and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapper with Brenda. I'm Brenda and we're here today with another Free Pattern Friday. Yay! Free Pattern Friday. I love Fridays and I love the fact that I can give away a free pattern. Well, I give away other free patterns on my website for the rest of the weeks that we do in drops, but this one's always so much fun. It's so special because when I worked I love Fridays, and now that I've been retired 10 years I still love Fridays. So this block here is called Whitestown, and we're going to show you how to do that 4 at a time flying geese unit. It's very quick, very easy. This one's got a few more pieces in it, but it creates such an amazing, lovely, delicate block. So I thought, oh, this one would be so special for a Free Pattern Friday. But first, let's do our shout out, right? Our shout out is Merry Mabel Market. Now, the YouTube channel is going to be in our show notes below. I cannot stress to you enough how much you need those show notes, to look at those show notes. We have her YouTube channel in there, and you guys have got to go give her some encouragement and love and tell her Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Also what's in there is the So Yeah Brothers are doing a charity drive for the homeless people in Alaska, and I have left their link in there. So if you want to participate this year and have some fun, because the ladies who participated last year had a blast. So if you want to participate, you go to their channel and find out what's going on. Tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, the other thing you're going to find in there is the collaboration. Yes, the collaboration. The first block of the collaboration drops July 9th. So if this video drops after July 9th, go back to my channel on July 9th and you should see my block comes first. I was so thrilled to participate with these other creatives and YouTubers, and we just had a blast coming up with some beautiful, striking blocks. So that's in there too. We also have a Facebook group, and the Facebook group does all the other things normal Facebook groups do, except we have all these different kinds of community chats. We do fabric swaps by country, we do recipe exchanges, and we just chat about whatever's going on. Those chats are always busy and they're always fun. Now, we also have in the Facebook group a free sewing room for Discord for the Facebook members. Facebook now shut down our virtual sewing room. I guess we were getting too rowdy in there. Well, they shut down all the virtual rooms. So now we are moved to Discord. So that's all a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week virtual sew date that you can go in on, and you never know who you're going to meet from wherever, all over in the world, right? So it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, that's about it. We've had so much fun in the last little bit doing other things. Oh, and there's also the Conquer Your Fabric Scrap Summit that I am involved in, and that's coming out in August. So I'm going to leave you hanging with that bit of information. It's coming. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to provide more details later. But we had a lot of fun getting ready for that too. Nikki from the Ruffle Purse just did such a wonderful job of organizing a bunch of teachers and putting us all together and, making something wonderful. So check that out. That's coming. That's not in the show notes. That's just me telling you. It's like gossip, Okay, so come on in. Let's get our Whitestown block in red. Let's get this sewn together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on in. Okay, we're at the sewing machine. Now, the first thing we're going to do is make those 4 at a time flying geese that are going to measure 2 inches by 3.5 inches once we're finished making them. So they're unfinished at 2 by 3.5, right? Now, I took my magic wand already. My magic wand. And I marked on either side. This is a 1/2 inch line, so now I've got the mark so I know where to sew on them. And like I say, this 4 at a time method is really good. This is a really fast, quick one to do. Now, people say you should pin these. Yes, you should, especially when they're small. I know, it's kind of like, but it's small. It's so small. Yes, it is so small, but they're so cute. And this is part of why I like the look of this block, because it just had some smaller pieces in there it made the block look really light and really airy. So I was quite taken with it, So anyway, so we're going to get the other one. And you take your time lining up along that edge, right? Because that's going to get you your perfect little you're going to get a perfect little thing that way. A perfect little flying goose. Okay, so I got my right foot on. Now I like working with this kind of foot because I find that my accuracy, I can draw right along that little line and I don't have a problem with it. There we go. And when I get to the end, I just whip it around, give it a little pull. Just a little pull to get more thread out. And then we go the other way. There we go. And we'll sew off right onto this plug. There we go. And you could do dozens of these. I mean, if you were making a quilt, you'd find out which one you're doing. Now, I want to cut this space right up in here. So I'm going to just give it a quick run with the world's tiniest scissor. Because that's what I have handy. Okay, so now you're going to end up with a weird shaped heart thing that's going to look kind of odd. But it'll be cute. Right? It's cute and it works. This is such a cool method of making flying geese. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put one piece of fabric and you're going to pin it down in place. So, just like that. Oops. Yeah. You should take the time to iron them. But, you know, yeah, you guys get it. I have nails that cut through drywall if I had to. You know, so I don't, when I finger press, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of pounds per square inch pressure that I put on that little fabric. So, okay, so now you got two of these to make. So now you're going to start, it doesn't matter which way you start, which area you start from, that you want to sew on the line. There, all the way to the end. Now you give it a little tug so you get some extra thread, right? And you go the other way along the line. There, we'll get this out of the way and this out of the way. There we go. And now we do the same thing here. There, go all the way to the end, and just a little, you know, not even a half an inch of thread, you need to turn it. Okay. Now, you get that? Now, we're just going to snip through the middle, right? You know, leaving a good, you know, a quarter inch on each side. Right. Okay. Oops. That's still connected. Okay, now, oops. Oops, 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 oops. I say oops a lot. You're going to just flatten these out like so. Now, this would be the time you take them and you trim them, right? And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this off at a certain point, and I'm going to make sure they're trimmed, and they're going to measure 3.5 by 2 inches that way, right? So we end up with the perfect little thing, and we're going to have them go like this right here. So I'm going to make sure we, you know, stop trim, because I mean it's kind of a, see, you kind of see how this block now is coming together, right? So cute. The next hard bit is here. I know, it's not really a hard bit, but it qualifies as a hard bit. So what we're going to do is line up that corner and go straight across. Basically, we're making a 3.5 inch square economy block in the middle of this. And just keep running your plug through. Yes, there we go. Go to the other side. Yeah, I got good coverage. Yes, I do. Go to the other side. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. You get 2 sides done. Okay, you got to trim off those corners, otherwise it creates bulk. And you don't want bulk in this little block. Now these I find are too small. So what I do is I just put them straight into the pet dog bed, or the bed scraps, dog bed scraps. Okay, and last, okay, the last 2. Okay. Okay. There we go. There, nice. Oh my. Okay, something went wrong with my thread. I'm not sure what it was, but we gotta find out. And let's see, we'll cut here. We'll cut here. We're gonna put on the last 2, right? And then we're gonna trim up these, okay? So we'll cut now. Okay, we have all our flying geese units trimmed down to 2 by 3.5, right? So now we can do all sorts of different ways of putting this together. We can put it together in rows like this. We can put it together where we have, you know, like these units here, you know, these ones and these ones and this one, right? And then it would become a 9 patch for us to assemble, which might be easier. I mean, or we can do this where we go take these pieces and work our way around this piece here, and then we start adding these other pieces around as we go. There's a bunch of different ways, but let's work this in a 9 patch because it would probably be simpler. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add put my little pieces on the corner first. Let's get all of that done. So the little corner bits would go. We're going to make just little corner units, the outer corner units. Now I've poverty pieced some of this because, yes, we can poverty piece, it's allowed, and 2, I ran out of material, right? So it was kind of like, okay, we have to poverty piece now, and that's all right. That's fine. This is what our mothers, our grandmothers did because that's how they dealt with stuff. They poverty pieced it, you know. And if this is what you have to do to make your block, it's all right. It's allowed. And it kind of, you know, people, if you're not pointing it out to them, people don't see it. Anyways, I'm pressing to the red, right? And I'm going to add it on here, just like so. So there we go. Put a smaller piece on top. Line up the base. Okay. There we go. And press to the red. I might as well do all of them. Get all of that done. That finger pressing done. That everybody just like, how do you do this? Okay, here we go. So, get that little corner unit done. There. There we go. Another little corner unit done. And we run them through all the same, right? That's the beauty of this. Actually, I had to poverty piece 2 of them, so it's one of those things where it's okay to do that. It's fine, you know. And yeah, people, you know, especially when you're dealing with odd-sized scraps and you're not quite sure, it, you know, potentially, yes, it should be able to use up all of this, but, you know, we'll see. You know, I'm pretty good at guesstimating, but then, you know, I'm also good at cutting too many. So, okay, so now when we're pressing it out like this, we're going to take all of these units and flip them over with the solid side, and we're just going to press them like that. So they stay this way, right? They stay open a bit. Okay, so there we go. Okay, oops, there we go. We put that red stone right there in the center because it does create a cornerstone for that economy block. And there we go, like that. Now, what's left is we got to do this. So now we're going to take this, we're putting the flying goose on top so we can see where our point is, because we don't want to cut off that gorgeous little point that we created. We wanted it to be nice and pointy and well presented. So we want to just go kind of steer it around. Okay. There. Just like so. Line it up. Just nice. And throw it under. There we go. So we want to steer to that point. There we go. And there. Just so nice. So nice. So nice. There we go. There. And now, another thing, when I do 4 at a time flying geese, that's another thing I want to mention. I can't always do it, because my pieces are not, some of my pieces are not that big, you know, that I get donated, and or that I have created out of my own work. So that's where we're kind of like, oh, okay, we'll try this the best we can to give you this opportunity to show you how to do this. But, okay, now, you got this piece, so we're going to flip them all this way, so they're all pointing the same way, and we're finger pressing out, just like so. There we go, just like that, because that's going to give us a nice crisp flat block. Okay, now, yeah, we go like this, and we go like this. There we go. So now, as we're sewing these together, we're going to sew them together in rows. Why is this looking funny? Okay, I guess I'm going to have to... I did something wrong. These are too long. Oh my goodness, they're too long. That's why I'm having problems with. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to trim these up quickly. I'm going to make sure that the pattern is corrected for you, and we're going to cut right now. Okay, so now we've got all the, I cut this too long, and I apologize for that. Your cutting instructions are now correct, so there, you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, this is real life sewing. Sometimes you go, oh my goodness, I've done this wrong. So that's okay. Now we're just gonna do we're gonna web the inner part of this block, right, to make it happen. Yes, just, wow, I can't believe the stuff that goes on sometimes in this sewing room. But anyways, it is what it is, and I'm very blessed to have, you know, and I admit my mistakes. You guys gotta realize, I admit my mistakes. I just like, okay, yeah, we've done it wrong. So now, we're going to, because we're doing this one, we want to make sure we get a nice point on that flying goose or the economy block, which is kind of a pointed. So we want to make sure we're going to hold it down, and we're not going to cut off our point. We're going to steer around it. Yes, we are. There we go. And last piece is right here. Yeah, I can't believe how often we make mistakes in this. And then I'm like, well, you know what? This is, you know, this is what it is. I mean, this is sewing. You make mistakes. You're bound to make mistakes. So we put it back all in place to make sure that we have sewn it together correctly, because wow, you wouldn't want that to go awry. Now, typically we would just take this and flip it over, but I'm going to lose this point if I do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from this end. I'm going to put this way, and I'm going to flip it this way. So the long side is on the top. The side that's already sewn is on the top, because that way I can see my point. Right, I want to make sure I get that economy block in there, that perfect point there, because that's important. Okay, so this comes here. Now this goes under, just like so. There. I have a little straight piece underneath, so I don't have to worry about which way the seam goes, and my foot pedal is running away from me. There we go. Nice. And the last one up is this, and it goes like that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, mistakes are made in sewing all the time. And, you know, it's better you admit them and just let it happen. You know, and you don't be hard on yourself either. I mean, that I get angry sometimes when it comes to the sewing machine, but, you know, because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. But, I mean, it is what it is, right? So now I'm just going to finger press this one out, and this got to go in. This one's got to go in. These have got to go in, like so. And this one gets pressed out. In, which means you flip that seam under, right? And you flip it under this way. There. Now, hopefully, you got some stuff that's nesting. That's just gorgeous, that little block here inside now. So now let's go. Let's get the rest of this finished. Now, if I sew it like this, I can't see my point. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to sew it so I can see this, right? Because that's really important right now. Okay. Now I got, with the needle down, I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to try my best to match the center economy block. There we go. Okay, now I match the other side, and I'm making a seam to make sure that I don't cut off my point. If I have to steer, I have to steer, so be it. Okay. There. Okay. Here. Yeah, we'll just get this under. There we go. So that's sewn together. And now I'm going to do this, and we're going to sew it like this. Right? Okay. There we go. With the needle down. Put it down if you have to. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to hold this side here, and I want to make sure I don't miscut my point off. That would be bad. I want to go right through that X, or a little to this side of the X, if at all possible. And, okay. There. There we go. Now, okay, so now we're going to sew on our border. Okay, and because of my mistakes, my border now is wrong, right? So that's because this was a smaller, this is like 1/2 inch smaller. So this is cut for a 9.5 inch block, but this is an 8.5 inch center. So I'm going to correct the sewing instructions for this part, these side pieces as well, but we're just going to sew it together now to give you an idea of what this block looks like when it's all done. Okay, so, oh, right, I need to go the other way because, you know what, I'm going to, yeah, no, I'm just going to sew it. There we go. We'll sew this here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I miscalculated. Oh well. That wouldn't be the first time. It's probably not going to be the last, right? So I'm about 1/2 inch off here. That's okay. All right. Some blocks are just, you know, I cut this out too, thinking, okay, this will be fast. I'm just pressing it out. There. Now I'm going to do the other side, and we're going to sew from this side because we don't want to cut off those peaks either, those little from our Flying Goose unit. There we go. It's always nice to put a little border around the block too. When you've got all these little pieces, You can go a little bit bigger, you know, on your piecing, and then trim it down, right? You know, that's always important to be able to have that option. Because if you're 1/4 inches out and you're trying to put this block together, that also would create a lot of problems too for you. So, because this block now is going to be smaller than it needs, so I'm just going to put, when I put it together with other 12.5-inch blocks, I'll add another little coping strip of bright red or something to make it pop and stand out. But I will give you the correct cutting instructions, because that's kind of where we need to be here with you guys. Okay, and that goes pressed in. It gets pressed in, right? Okay, all right. There we go. Now I'll just cut that off. There. Yeah, this one's going to be probably measure only 12 inches, my guess. There. But, like I say, well, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how big this block actually ends up being. Because it's, like I say, okay, and we'll do this way. Okay, put the strip underneath. Here we go. Let's see. There. There we go. There. Okay. So, just so you can see the like the pressing layout, I guess. That would be good. Okay, let's start with the economy block. Of course, you press everything out. You press it all out. This little block here, you press it all out, and it lies flat and everything. Now, as you're doing your corners, I mean, I was trying to press so I didn't have show through, but I mean, what happens is you start having a resistance here with your seams, right? So you might as well press this one out, these larger pieces out, and move on. When it comes to joining this bar and this flying goose unit, the bar loses because there's so much going on right to the point, so the block will lie flatter if you press so that this pushes away from the goose. Then when you're assembling them, you know, some of them are going to be press in, press out, and that is hopefully going to make your block pretty light, like pretty flat. I mean, mine's already pretty flat without, you know, I haven't touched it with an iron. And because of the mistakes I made, it is now 11.5 inches, right? Because I made cutting mistakes on here. So I will correct them for you, and you'll have the right pattern. So that's going to add to this as well, right? So, but this came together. I was quite surprised how nice it, flat is laying, and I haven't touched it with an ironing yet. So let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so this one finally came together. Yes, there was lots of issues, mechanical issues too, and you know, it was just like, we got it together. Now, we did correct the pattern. So in the pattern, the cutting instructions below will be the correct size so that your block will end up 12.5 inch square, unfinished, 12-inch finished in a quilt. When I add this one in, I'm going to add a coping strip of red around it and just kind of, or black or something, just to make this one pop. I just think this one was so cute and so adorable. I thought, we have to share this one for you, but I should never try and draw stuff when I'm tired. I mean, you know, that's the reality. So, I hope you give this one a try, even with all the fun weirdness that we had in this video, and you know, cutting this and that, and you know, tension and whatnot. I do hope you give it a try and life treats you better than it did me today. And you have an absolutely lovely week ahead. Okay, bye until we see each other again. Bye. Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure in quilting. And, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts. Okay, so you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again. Okay, bye.